guys premolar because for the purposes of showing, the molar is hard for us to see. Like I think last time we did molar, right? I think so. So anyway, I'm gonna do premolar and I'm gonna kind of explain everything, okay, around as far as where the anterior edge of the PSP has to be and all that. Okay, so okay, we're good. Okay, so now we're gonna do a posterior mandibular periapical and we're gonna do a premolar today. So once again, we need a posterior XCP holder, which is the yellow. Okay, so rod, bite block, and a ring. And the way it needs to be set up is, let's say if I'm on the lower right side, the right angle of the bar has to actually exit out of the patient mouth. So it shouldn't be like this. Well, actually like this. Because if that's the case, you won't be able to go all the way in the back. So we always have to make sure it is set up so this points out of the patient's mouth. So once again, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna set up our PSP plate. And again, because it's a mandibular, we want to make sure that the A points down. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put the sticky on the opposite side, just like this. And placing it into the bite block. Again, I'm gonna make sure I push the bite block, the back of it a little bit away from me so I can actually slide my PSP plate in. And when it's in there, it should look kind of like this. Again, equal amount of plate on each side. The A is pointing down, okay? So for the premolar, do you guys remember where am I centering the bite block? Which context? So we're centering on the contact between the second premolar and the first molar, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead again, I'm gonna retract his tongue, going in sort of a 45-degree to the occlusal surface. Okay, I'm gonna go even it out. So now I'm gonna look, I have to retract his cheek just a little bit here to see. And I'm gonna make sure that the bite block, the center of the bite block is centered over the context of those two teeth, second premolar and first molar. And also my anterior edge, guys, of the PSP plate needs to be positioned behind the canine, okay? So that ensures that you get your whole premolar on that image, okay? Now, last thing that I have to look if the PSP plate and my premolars are parallel to the buccal surfaces. So if the plate is parallel to buccal surfaces of the premolar, and the only way to kind of look at it, you have to kind of go around here or step in front of the patient and look from there. So these have to be parallel to each other, okay? Notice also where am I actually resting the bite block against the occlusal surfaces? Where on the bite block, guys? Is it at the end of the bite block? Is it in the middle of the bite block? Middle, right? And it is different than the maxillary, right? The maxillary was where? At the end, all the way at the end, right? So because of the tongue, we can go only so far, okay? So it's gonna be usually for molars and premolar resting sort of in the middle of the bite block. Okay, so when I have everything in a position, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna close. And I'm gonna close him firmly or tell the patient to bite down firmly, okay? That's because on the maxilla, we can't do that because the plate bends, but on the mandible, it doesn't. The plate kind of slides down into the muscles, so everything stays straight there. Okay, so once again, my plate is parallel to long axis of the teeth and parallel to the buccal surfaces of the teeth. So long axis is the vertical, and parallel to buccal surfaces is the horizontal, okay, angulation. So I'm gonna slide the ring just a little bit more. All right, so once again, with the PID, we have to align PID so in the vertical position is equidistal to everywhere around the ring, and then in the horizontal, it is parallel to the bar, okay, so that we do not, in the horizontal direction, overlap the context, okay? So we are now ready for exposing our mandibular premolar periapical.